example in mixed martial arts. Referee for this bout, Rob McCrum. Blue shorts is Josh Foster. White bad boy trunks is Brian Gallacher. Foster with a steely gaze. And the action begins in our first pro bout of the evening at Vision FC 3 Uprising.
Nice overhand by Brian. Nice left hook as well. He's very aggressive coming out.
Don't think he's caught Foster with any of those, but very aggressive, like you say, closing the distance now.
You can tell Foster's experienced. He seemed really calm. Nice takedown from Brian Gallacher. Needs to protect his neck as well here. He's looking for an arm triangle.
If he can get that leg out and get in a side control, a much better position for that. Instead lands some nice ground and pound. Nice shot there. Gallacher looking to release his leg and get out of side control.
Brian's working for a front headlock position here.
Nice work from Foster though.
Big overhand, but it missed. Foster's really composed here. He's looking to maybe get out and take the back here. And he's done that. He's got Brian's back.
Needs to get that other hook in. Got one hook in at the moment.
Brian's got to get on his side here.
Now both hooks in. Foster showing he's just as equal to Gallacher's excellent jiu-jitsu skills. Gallacher looking to turn into him, come out on top. Foster knows exactly what he's up to though. It's always great to watch somebody who's very good at jiu-jitsu defending a rear naked choke. They just seem so much more calm than someone who isn't as talented.
From personal experience with rolling with Brian, it is really hard to choke him because he doesn't even have a neck. He's so short and stocky. It's really hard to get a grip with his neck. He's got a wide neck, but it's not long.
Yeah, you can see Foster trying to work his arm underneath it, but as you've alluded to, Donnie, the lack of a neck on Gallacher is proving a problem.
I think that's why Brian isn't even defending the choke with his hands. He's using his hands to punch and leave his neck exposed because
body
it's hard
lock
to
now
get.
from Foster. Goes back to just the hooks.
Brian's trying to fight the feet so that he can sit out. Foster's crossed his legs. That's a no-no when you're taking the back.
There's potential for a leg lock here from Gallacher.
Brian listening to his corner. They're telling him to keep squeezing so that he can put pressure on Foster's ankles. I think Brian's just happy to sit in this position till the end of the round.
Foster seems reasonably comfortable there as well, though he didn't seem to be back to the body lock.
Brian's got to roll to the side that the body triangle's locked, so he's got to roll to the opposite side he has rolled to. He's got to go to his right. Creates pressure on Foster's ankle.
Good work here from Foster, keeping the back of a talented jiu-jitsu fighter like Brian Gallacher.
Very good back control.
Now looking to pepper him with some shots, score a few points, just solidify his victory in this round. It's of course 3-5 minutes, we should say. Far longer than our 3 minute C-class bouts we've watched so far this evening.
Foster looks incredibly relaxed. He's just sitting against the cage, not rushing anything, not looking to burn his arms out, especially in the first round. I have often done that myself, worked for a submission, and it really does take they gas at your arms, and then your punches come slower, they come softer, and it's harder to finish the submission, so you really need to know when to work for something and when not to.
Gallacher's managed to release one of the hooks there. But still good control from Foster on his back. I think you're right, and I think Gallacher's quite happy just to sit this round out and almost accept that that's a 10-9 to his opponent, and now he just needs to get in and make the comeback. Does not look happy walking back to his corner.
I think he realises he put himself in a silly position. He left himself without an underhook, and then it gave Foster the chance to take his back.
Great first round there from our first pro fight of the evening. Brian Gallacher going up against Josh Foster.
Two up-and-comers. I've seen a few videos of Josh Foster. I had a look a few days before the event to see what Brian was fighting, see who he was fighting, and the videos I've seen, I just couldn't believe how good Josh Foster was.
Two great people making their entrance into that burgeoning flyweight division in the UK. Growing all the time, guys coming down from bantam.
Seems like everybody's dropping a weight class nowadays. Everybody, really even the people who were struggling at the weight class they were at, they're still dropping another weight class.
We've got John Cullen tonight making his move down to bantamweight slowly in a 63.5 kilograms fight tonight, just above the bantamweight limit. Overhand rights for Gallacher, looking to come in and close the range with those.
It looks like Brian's trying to work his strikes into a takedown. If he can get a takedown and get in top position, he's going to be really hard to sweep or really hard to catch in a submission. He's so strong for his size. It's unbelievable. Really solid takedown defence from Foster though, with the underhook and the strong whizzer. Foster's training with a good gym. He's always going to be at a good level. If you're training with good people, you're always going to learn. Again, reverse the position from Foster. Again, the same as every other fight on the card, very evenly matched. You can see that nobody in the card has been much better than the other person they're fighting. They're always really close. No, absolutely no mismatches here. It's hard to find a promotion that doesn't have mismatches sometimes. You do see a lot of them in some shows. Absolutely. One of the great things about this card is the lack of injuries. The last SFC card before the merger to Vision was plagued by injuries. I think it was some over 20 anyway. Pullouts, constant injuries. Changes. It was absolute hell for all the promoters and matchmakers. This time, relatively few injuries, and especially amongst the pro fights. That's the key. The main fights in the card, the two title fights, the #1 contender fight, and the other sort of main attraction bouts have all remained the same, including this one. Brian Gallacher up against Josh Foster. And that's allowed the guys to really show off their matchmaking talents. They haven't had to go out seeking guys last minute. They've been able to keep the matchups that they originally had planned. And I think this crowd is going to reap the rewards as the night goes on. Brian Gallacher relentlessly pursuing the takedown here. I saw a reverse elbow there. A bit of Johnny Bones Jones.
Yeah. Actually saw that up against Paul McVeigh. McVeigh going up in the Ultimate Fighter trials.
Louis Godinot done the exact same elbow to Paul McVeigh.
The one clock McVeigh. Good with that one, although I know Paul insisted it didn't land. Wouldn't be surprised to see referee Rob McCrum split them up at some stage. Gallacher still pursuing the takedown, Foster still defending the takedown.
Although there isn't much happening here, Brian will be winning this round because he's been aggressive, he's wrestling, although he hasn't landed the takedown and Josh is defending. I think the judges probably will give this advantage to Brian because he is looking and he's using the octagon to keep Josh from moving. Yeah, in such a close round, you've got to think that cage control is going to play a factor. And if you're talking about cage control, then it's got to be Brian Gallacher so far. He's kept Josh Foster up against the cage. Good break up there though from Rob McCrum. I'd like to see that. Overhand right attempt.
quite clear that Gallagher's not really interested in standing and trading. He's more interested in setting up the takedown, using his strikes to do that.
It's a lot harder for Bryan to land the strikes because he has got shorter arms. Foster's slightly taller, so he's going to have a better reach, so he can land the punches out of distance. For Bryan, Bryan needs to step in to land the punches.
A decent overhand right there from Bryan though. Nice 1-2 from Foster. Lovely leg kick. Yeah, to see the advantages reach gives, you just have to look at John Bones Jones, don't you?
That's it. Josh Foster looks very big for flyweight. He has got such long arms.
Nice attempt at using the strike to duck under for the takedown, but Gallagher's wise to it, reverses it up against the cage.
This is the strength that I'm talking about. Bryan's just turned him fairly easy. If he can continue this for this round, it may be a round each, and it may just go down to the third round. Although Foster did have the more dominant position in the first round, you never know how judges is going to score a dominant position like a mount or a back take.
You rarely see the 10-8s given though, do you? It's
rarely.
It's something that the half-point system might be able to solve.
Sometimes does happen. You do get crazy decisions sometimes.
Yeah. Nice knee snuck in there by Foster. Gallagher still pursuing the double leg. Foster's doing a good job whenever he's pressed up against the cage of looking for a little chance, an opportunity to throw just a strike, nothing powerful, but
any space Bryan leaves, Josh is right on it. He's obviously looking to be active. He's not looking to sit about and rest too much or just stay up against the cage. He's looking to always be working.
Second round in the bag here. First pro fight of the evening at Vision. In the cage sponsored by Easy Sports. Ompu gloves, the official gloves of Vision Fighting Championship, both in Sweden and in Scotland. There you see the nice overhand right from Bryan Gallacher. Final round. Got to say that it could be looking even into this, despite Foster winning that first round more conclusively. Chances are judges have given it 10-9 Foster, and then the second round 10-9 Gallacher. Slight problem with our judging system there, but you play to the rules you're given, and it looks like Gallacher is getting into this all square with Foster. Gallacher, of course, in the white shorts, Foster in the blue. Nice textbook boxing from Foster, landing 1-2 combinations. Gallacher seemed more partial to that overhand right.
Nice exchange.
Of course,
it's a lot harder for Bryan to land his strikes because he has got such a short reach. Foster can stay outside of this and still land, whereas Bryan always needs to step in or else he's missing by a few inches.
I was going to say, of course, Foster's got the luxury of being able to jab, whereas Gallacher, like you mentioned, because of that reach, can't really land a jab. He's got to come in with big strikes, try and set something up, or flurries, try and close the distance. Really lunging punches rather than straights. Foster's trying to counter-strike those, but he's not had too much success so far. Gallagher's avoided most of his punches. Nice body kick and nice stuff with the takedown. Now looking for the guillotine, sort of front headlock there.
Bryan's trying to drag him down, maybe look for the anaconda or the grapple from there.
Really smart there from Foster. There was a knee to the head there, and he's got his hand on the floor.
Foster's got 3 points of contact, means Bryan can't knee him to the head. Obviously Bryan couldn't see, so he threw the knee.
Smart move there from Foster to avoid that. He's now looking for the single leg. Gallacher still, and he's been taken to the floor. Nice takedown from Foster, very talented Foster. He could cause a lot of UK flyweights real trouble. Plenty of Scottish flyweights, of course. Brian Hislop fighting this evening for the Vision flyweight title up against Declan Williams, who's moving down from bantamweight. We've also got James McAllister.
James McAllister against Josh Foster would be a good fight to watch,
yeah,
because
fantastic fight.
James is kind of the same style and body shape as well. James is maybe a bit bigger. I don't know if he's actually want to fight a flyweight anymore, but
maybe pitch that one to the referee tonight. Rob McCrum, Vision UK matchmaker. If Foster is successful, but this fight really still up for grabs.
It is. I think it could go either way. If Brian gets a takedown here, it would obviously sway the judges a bit more because he lost a takedown. Nice takedown. Now he's looking to keep the back.
Foster straight back up to his feet though. Good work from him.
Nice elbows from Foster. Brian's working really hard for this takedown.
Great thing about these smaller guys, of course, is the activity they show.
Nice elbow again from Brian.
You see that the two of them are still looking to strike, even when they're in the clinched up against each other there. Foster's left himself square.
Brian's going to get his takedown here. He's got his arms crossed. He's going to get a big takedown.
Nice.
Beautiful takedown from Brian Gallacher. Good from Foster as Foster's using his back to get to the cage, pushing the head away like we've always said. Control the head and the body has to follow when you're controlling the head. He's pushing Brian's head away, trying to get his back to the cage. Brian needs to pull him away.
Foster is very successful at getting back to his feet. And
a great all-rounder by the looks of it. Josh Foster looks like he's got great potential. I'm sure he isn't too old.
Landed some nice strikes there from his back as well.
Nice strike from Brian on the way up. He needs to be careful with his hips. He needs strong hips. He's going for the arm and guillotine. It's really tight.
Foster's got good posture there though, keeping it nice and high. Looks like Foster's reasonably comfortable.
Composed.
I think that arm's just going to slip out unless Gallacher can reset it. Gallacher will gas out his arms here if he can't get the finish.
The choke looks tight, but Foster doesn't seem to be reacting.
Real composure, doesn't it?
You can tell that's...
Can Gallacher get the finish here in this third round at Vision? Good stuff so far from Foster. Trying to slip that head out, seems to be getting a little bit more room now. He's put in this a remarkable length of time, and it is underneath the neck there.
It looks like a strong choke. You've got to be really looking at his composure. A lot of boys in this position would tap. That's a strong choke. Although maybe on the jaw a bit, or Brian's grip might not be totally clamped, but it was a good attempt at a guillotine choke in a very close fight.
Yeah, great fight there.
I don't know which way that could go. It could go either way.
Well, once again, judges have an absolute nightmare of a time here tonight at Vision 3. Kelvin Hall in Glasgow. Cage sponsored, of course, by Orion clothing range that's coming out soon. Stay tuned to Easy Sports website and other outlets to see that one. Over to John Lamb, our MC for the evening, for the official decision, which I imagine is going to be a tight one. Very tough to score. Brian Gallacher, of course, the home fighter. Josh Foster coming up from England. Both guys believe they won it, and quite rightly so. You could make a case for either. First round likely towards Foster. Second round just towards Gallacher. Third round could make a case for either, like I say.
I think they both had a first and second round was it one round for each, and the third round, obviously, like you say, could have been a toss-up. I don't know who won the fight, but both guys have got huge potential. Obviously, there's areas that they could both improve, but it's
great additions to the UK flyweight division. Win there for Josh Foster. He'd be delighted with that. You heard split decision, like we said. Not surprising at all. Close decision. Great performance from Foster. Both guys really showing their potential.